Forget the UK healthcare job. Will you like to come to the UK with your wife and children? Meaning, will you like to come to the UK with your dependent? Then watch this video. Hi, beautiful people. Welcome back again to my YouTube channel. If today is your first time here, my name is Stella. On this channel, I talk about my life here in the UK, what is happening around me, and I share information. On this channel, I also do reaction videos. So if this content sounds like what you'll be interested in, please do not forget to like, subscribe, and share my videos. Click on that notification bell to get notified whenever I post any new video. And for my returning subscribers, thank you guys for always coming back to watch my videos. So lately, I've been seeing a couple of messages on care job with visa sponsorship. What code can you bring your wife and family? Well, aside from care job with visa sponsorship, there are other job opportunities that offer COS. That is why it's important to always check out the UK shortage occupation list. They always update it. Now, when you watch on the screen, you see so many jobs on the shortage occupation code. Aside from care job, there are other jobs that you can enter this country with your family. With the care job, they've stopped, people from bringing their wives and children. If you're coming in on a sponsorship visa, you're coming in alone. So if you want to come with your dependent, why not try the other job opportunities? Well, in today's video, I'm talking about this IT job. You guys can see it on the screen. It's on the UK shortage occupation list. So try tech. I'm going to leave all the information about this tech company. And I have a guest here with me that will explain and put you through all that you need to know for those of you wanting to transition into tech this year, 2025. Grab the opportunity now that you can. So, guys, for those of you wanting to transition into tech, I have my guest here with me. He will explain to you all that you need to know. So, do not panic if you don't have experience. All you need to do after watching this video is to leave me a comment if you have any question, and also feel free to reach out to them. I'm going to leave their contact, all that you need to know about this Tenalytic and how you can reach them. I'm going to leave it on the description below. So do not panic. You will learn a lot today. So please, can you introduce yourself?
All right, thanks a lot for that, Stella. Super excited to be here. My name is Adeza Suleiman, and I'm the founder of Tenalytics. Tenalytics is an educational technology firm, the leading educational technology firm, helping Africans in Africa and Africans in the diaspora to transition into the tech ecosystem. Over the last 4 years, we've helped over 2,850 people to transition from their previous careers into different areas, including data analytics, data science, cybersecurity, agile project management, and so on and so forth. Now, what makes us stand out is simply the understanding of the fact that transitioning into the tech ecosystem goes beyond just the technical. So learning the technical skill is on the one hand. On the other hand, are the employability skills. And that's where we thrive. Because to get to the front of an interviewer or a potential employer, you need to have the right CV. You need to have the right LinkedIn profile. You need to know how to answer interview questions, introduce yourself, competency based questions, and more importantly, the ability to show that you have experience in that particular career path, which I'll explain as we move on during our session today. And for me, myself, I'm a technology expert with a decade years of experience cutting across data analytics, data engineering, and management consulting. I've lived and I've worked in the UK. I've also lived and I currently live and work in Canada as well. So I'll be sharing my experience as we move on, how I moved from Nigeria, moved to the UK, moved to Canada, and helping over 2,850 people to also do the same, transitioning with no previous background and no previous experience. So I'm happy to share.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh my God. I have some questions for you, which I will have to be reading them out because I don't
Okay,
forget. So, and if you have any information or anything you need to add to it, you can always add you know, to this.
absolutely.
Okay, the first question is, what are some of the most in-demand tech skills in the UK job market right now, and how do they align with the shortage occupation list? Because the UK always updates the shortage occupation list, and currently,
Yes.
if you are in this field, this tech field, obviously you can come to the UK with
Yeah.
your wife and children, which I have seen lots of persons are looking for ways to migrate with their family. And personally, I think tech is the trending, is currently just trending. So many persons are going into tech. And
Yeah.
just tell me, what do you think about this?
Fantastic question. So now, before we go specifically into the UK job market. It's important to think globally. All right. And the reason why I say so is you want to find yourself in a career path where your career transcends different borders and different regions. A simple experience about myself. I worked in Nigeria as a data analyst, data analytics consultant, management information system analyst, and I cut across five different sectors. I worked in financial services. I worked in energy, the energy sector. I worked in sports. I worked in educational technology and so on and so forth, and in automobile as well. Now, you want to find yourself in a career that when you decide to even leave the UK, move to
Yeah.
Canada, move to the US,
Yeah.
that specific career is still relevant irrespective of where you are.
Yeah.
Okay. So in saying that, having said that, it's important that when you look at one of the major articles that we look at analytics, because coming up with career paths that are in demand, you need to know what is going on around the globe, the career paths that have been selected to grow in demand over the next 5 to 10 years. So we do our analysis in-house. First of all, we scrape data from the major job boards, Indeed, Glassdoor, CV libraries, Recruiter, and so on and so forth. Read.co.uk, gov.uk, jobs.gov.uk, and so on. We analyze these jobs. We see the career path that are high in demand, and then we filter them based on three criteria: ease of learning, ease of transitioning, and the career path that have high rewarding salaries. Because not all career paths that are in demand are easy to learn.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Take robotics, for example. You need prerequisites in electrical, electronics engineering, and so on and so forth. So it's important to filter those in demand career paths. So we did that. But we also looked at the World Economic Forum Future of Jobs reports to help us understand the analysis we have carried out. Can we validate with another reputable organization? So the World Economic Forum Future of Jobs report, the latest came out this month,
Yeah.
2025, January 2025, and it shows you the career path that would grow and the career path that are declining. So it's important for anybody who is trying to transition to look at that report. So we looked
Yeah.
at it and we clearly saw that the analysis we had carried out aligned to the World Economic Forum Future of Jobs report, showing the jobs that would grow and keep on growing in the next 5 to 10 years. And I'm going to list them out. Now, having done that, we came back to the UK. All right. Looking at the shortage occupation list when it existed, this has been replaced by the immigration salary list, which
Yeah.
was updated April 2024, last year by the Home Office. So, looking at the career path, the eligible occupations that would give you the opportunity to get a certificate of sponsorship, apply to get your skilled worker visa, there are 8 career paths you need to look at. Only 8 of them. Number one is data analytics. Two, AI machine learning specialist. Number three, data science. So AI machine learning can be tied to data science. Okay, then you have data engineering. Number four, you have cybersecurity, number five. You have agile project management. So not your conventional project management this time around, but agile project management. Then you have HR analytics and financial analytics. And finally, last but not the least, you have business analysis. So when you look at these career paths, you find out that globally they are relevant. When you look at the future of jobs, where the world would be in the next 5 to 10 years, these career paths would still stay in demand. You still stay relevant. And when you deep dive into the UK job market, you find out that over 50% of companies are looking to hire professionals that have some data skills attached to their skills, either data officers, data managers, data analysts, just like I have, mentioned. So you don't want to just chase everything. You want to
Yeah.
know exactly where to narrow down and focus on. I hope I answered that question,
Yeah.
Stella.
So definitely just you need the one to focus on.
Yes.
So if you're watching this video, please, like I said, feel free to leave any question on the comment section. And the next one, based on your experience as a educational tech founder, what are some of the most effective learning methodologies for acquiring in-demand tech skills?
So again, that's adult learning, all right? And most the mistakes a lot of people make is a
Mm,
lot of platforms. I've
yeah.
used so many of them, YouTube, Coursera, Udemy, and the rest is adults don't learn through
Mm,
presentations and listening. Adults learn by doing. Okay. So
mm,
that's simply andragogy. Okay. Andragogy embodies the principles of adults learning by doing, being able to know the why behind the problem you're trying to solve. So rather than focusing on platforms where you are watching videos, you're trying to replicate what you see in the
yeah.
videos, you
Mm-hmm.
need to find yourself in a situation where you have the opportunity to work on real world case studies, real problems that exist in real organizations, and you solve those problems yourself by doing them. It's called experiential learning, and that's what we do at analytics.
Oh
So we
wow.
take experience. I have over a decade experience, and
Mm,
we have a pool of over 300 industry experts. We take the experiences of all these professionals and we couch them into case studies. So let's take one example. I worked with the Bellrun Group in the UK, helping them solve problems in business intelligence related problems. We take those type of problems I solved, we change the name of the company, we change the data set so you cannot tie any of it to a specific organization due to data privacy.
mm,
And we give those case studies to you to learn and
oh,
solve. So you're solving real problems that exist in real organizations, and that's the best way for you to get into a specific career path. So you
mm,
have your blended learning approach, which is what we deploy at Analytics. You learn by watching your sessions,
yeah.
practicing, solving case studies, and then you have another part where you have a live session with a professional like myself where you
Mm,
can ask your question, get your questions answered real time. So you're trying to do something. I've told you to do something on Excel, on Power BI. You've tried it. You didn't get the same result like I got. You can ask, oh, Adeza, can I share my screen? Can you see what I've done? Is it correct or not? And that's the best way for adults to learn. And that's where you don't want to make the mistake of just watching videos of
yeah.
just and that would get you frustrated. I've been there myself. I've
Yeah.
tried it and I know how frustrating it is.
Yeah.
I try to write a code. I write the code exactly the way I see it in the video, but I don't
Mm,
get the same results. And
yeah.
it takes me over 2 weeks to solve that problem because there is nobody to say, hey, Adeza, this is what you're
Yeah.
doing wrong and this is what you need to correct. Okay. So you want to find yourself in a blended learning environment where you have both the opportunity to work on real world case studies
Mm,
at your own convenience, and you also have the opportunity to work with an industry expert that'll tell you that this is what you should do. You can ask
mm,
questions and get real time feedback. It's experiential learning, and
yeah.
that's tied to the andragogy principle, which is what we implement at
Yeah.
analytics.
Yeah, you're right. Honestly, there's nothing like, when you have like a question, you have someone to
Yeah,
ask, it's really, really
absolutely.
because I mean there's so
Absolutely.
many videos to watch out there. After watching the video, what next? Who do you want to ask question? So I think this is the big deal here. Anyway,
Absolutely.
question is, what are some of the common misconceptions or challenges that individual faces when pursuing tech career?
All
Not
right.
just
Thanks for.
because I mean,
Yeah.
if you have tech knowledge, or if you transition
Yes.
into tech, you can go to any land. UK,
Yes.
US, Canada, like is definitely one of the most in demand job I have seen online. If you're
Yeah.
searching job with sponsorship, you see tech. It's always there. So
Yeah.
what are the common misconception about tech?
Fantastic question, and it's important we address this because I've worked with thousands of people.
Mm,
Okay, and they make these mistakes all the time. You find this category of people I'm going to list out for you. Number one major misconception is I need to have certifications before I get a job.
okay.
When you do that, you are literally putting the cart before the horse. And for anybody who follows 10 analytics, there is one thing you would easily, align to 10 analytics. It's a phrase that we say competence over credentials. All right. A
Mm.
lot of people, we are used to it. I think because of the region we come from
Yeah.
Africa, from Nigeria, we're always chasing that certification, chasing that
Mm,
paper. There is a paper ceiling, we kind of, a fictitious paper ceiling that is somewhere. We feel like if we break through that
mm,
paper ceiling, we'll get the job. But I've worked with business analysts, they have certifications, they can't get a job. Project managers, they have PMP certifications, but they cannot get a job. And that's simply because that's not the first thing you do. The first thing you do is to build your competence.
mm,
Your competence comprises of your skills and your experience. Okay? So don't chase certifications, chase competence. Once you have the competence,
mm,
the job would come.
mm.
Certification is secondary. Now, you learn the skills by, getting into class, working with experts, solving case studies, like I've mentioned.
Yeah.
And then you build experience by working on case studies, solving real world problems, and building a portfolio as a proof of work, proof that you've done this before and you can share with anybody to see the type of work you've done. And that's why for us at Analytics, when you join us, you don't join us as a student, you join
Yeah.
us as a contractor because you are solving problems, real problems. So
Mm,
you work on those problems as your real world experience.
mm.
On your CV, you're going to have 10 analytics as where you have worked, not where you learned or where you trained, but where
Mm.
you have worked because you've solved real world problems. And that's what gives you that, positions you for the job in
Yeah.
front of the potential employer, essentially. So
Mm,
that's one misconception. Remember this from today's session: competence over credentials. All right. The second one is I need to have UK work experience for me to get a job. I need to have Canadian work experience to get a job. That's the funniest for me because I got my very first job with the Bellrun Group when I moved to the UK. 1 month
oh my
into
God.
moving into the UK. I had never worked anywhere, else in the UK before. Now, how was that even possible? When you ask yourself the question and think about it, why do they look for UK work experience?
Mm.
They're looking for professionals who can easily fit into their work culture, understand the way they work, and so on and so forth. That's the only reason. Now, one of the things we feel are doing for people like me from the Black community from Africa is
Yeah.
we don't exude confidence. All right. When you're speaking to somebody you feel has a higher rank or a higher level or is older than you don't
Yeah.
look them directly in the eyes, directly to speak to them. Okay. So we tend to bow, we tend to be respectful, and that
Yeah.
shows that you don't have confidence. All right. So every UK potential
Mm.
employer wants to
Mm.
see that you're confident and you really know what you're saying. So that's on the one hand. On the other hand, you want to be likable. Okay. Your CV
Mm.
gets you into the room, likability
Mm.
gets you the job.
Yeah.
Likability would get you the job. So they want to see that you're somebody who is likable. You'll be their, colleagues in the, nearest future. And they want to see that they can easily work with you. So when you get into the interview, don't be focused on just answering questions and you get out of there. No, you want to start with small talk. Okay.
Mm.
Exude some level of confidence. Show them that you can easily align to their culture. You can fit into their work culture. Start by saying, "Oh, how is the weather where you are today?
Mm.
It snowed all night. I had to shovel snow from the porch of my house and so on. How is the weather where you're coming from?" Start with that. Open
Yeah.
up with those type of conversations. Tell them about, "Oh, I saw on LinkedIn where you had a team bonding exercise recently. Do
Mm.
you have team bonding exercises often within the organization?" Start with those type of conversations, warm yourself up to them, and show them that you can fit into their culture.
Mm.
That's all they need to see. All
Mm.
right. You don't need UK work experience to get a job in the UK. You don't need Canadian work experience to get a job in Canada. That's another misconception.
Mm.
Number three is the third one is people assume that I have to be the most intelligent to get a
Mm.
job.
Yeah.
But that's very far from the truth.
Mm.
Yes, intelligence is subjective. It's
Yeah.
good to be intelligent, which means I can see something once and I understand it. I don't
Yeah.
have to go back to it again to revise. It sticks one time. Now that's good for you to have, but it's more of commitment
Yeah.
and hard work. If you have average intelligence, you graduated with a second class lower or even lower than that,
Mm.
but you're ready to put in the work, you'll get a job.
Yeah.
We've had a farmer who owned a farm in Nigeria. He owned a poultry farm and a yam farm in Nigeria. Today, he's in the UK as a data scientist after
Wow.
joining our data science program. And that's where you start to see the level of, hard work, commitment to joining classes, completing projects, you know, during presentations, being the first person to say, hey, can I present for the group? And so on and so forth. So you don't need to be the most intelligent person in the room to land a job in tech. All
Mm,
right. And another one I would say is a lot of people also, I think I've addressed this already. They feel that the only way to gain experience is by
yeah.
actually getting a job.
Mm,
You don't need to get a job to gain experience. If you
experience. Yeah.
work on case studies, you work on projects that are real world based, you
Mm,
gain experience by doing that and you build a portfolio to warehouse all those projects. So that's your proof that you've done it before. And finally, a lot of people think that the jobs would fall on their laps from their homes. Okay,
mm,
so I just churn out applications from home and I'm going to get into tech. But it doesn't work like that all the time. All
yeah.
right. And that's where networking becomes very important. And that's where mentorship becomes very important as well. So, one of the things we do and we ensure that we instill in every 10 analytics participant is the ability to network. So, in the UK, for example, no matter where you are, one thing I want you to do is type into Google innovation hubs near me,
Mm,
tech accelerators close to me. Okay, it would pop up so many innovation hubs. Visit those hubs. That's where you'd find the founders, the co founders of companies that are looking to hire you. Join their events, it's usually free, and so on and so forth. So, we show you how to network, we show you how to get alternative access to opportunities that exist in your cities, and so on and so forth. So, getting the job is just a limitation you create
yeah.
by yourself. Usually, those misconceptions of, oh, UK work experience and all those things don't exist.
Mm. Oh, wow. Thank you for that. And the next one is, what role can mentorship and networking and community support plan in helping individuals succeed in this, in their tech careers?
Yeah, of course, networking cannot be, the importance cannot be overemphasized. Same with mentorship as well. And I'll
Yeah.
give a very quick story of Abisola. Abisola joined our data science program last year. She's in the UK. I think she's in Leeds, if I'm correct. She joined our data science program. She had some level of skills, meaning that she had trained somewhere before.
Yeah.
But she couldn't get a job. She couldn't even get an interview in the UK to
Mm,
get the opportunity to land a job. Then she came to us. She registered for our data science program and we worked with her, especially during the mentorship sessions, how
mm,
to speak confidently, how to answer questions during interviews. We had one on one sessions with her when she started to get interviews. And guess what?
mm.
Today, Abisola is a machine learning engineer. She got a
Wow.
job working for a company in the UK. This is somebody who couldn't land an interview,
Yeah.
but now she's been able to get a job. So when you work with a professional that has done the job before, they've made the mistakes, they know the industry, they know the potential questions that are likely going to come up. It's easier for you to envisage and prepare for the type of questions that will come up during the interviews. And that increases your chances of landing that job by at least 80%. All right.
Yeah.
So that's where mentorship comes in. And every Thursday at 10 Analytics is a mentorship session. We have our mentorship sessions every Thursdays from when you join until you want to stop. So from the
Wow.
beginning of the year, every Thursday, every single week, we have mentorship sessions up until the end
This is a
of the
bonus.
year. Absolutely, absolutely. And another important session we also hold, Stella, just very quickly, is the interview preparation session. So if you have an interview, you don't need to try to figure out what to do. You don't need to go and watch videos here and there. All you need to do is go to your LMS, the learning management system, and simply book an interview prep session. You can book an interview prep session any day of the week, Sundays, Saturdays, any day of the week, and somebody will join you in a one on one, look at the job description, come up with the questions that are likely going to come up, and you have a mock session together. And that helps you understand the areas you need to go prepare for. So when I say we've helped over 2,850 people to land their jobs, these are the different strategies we put in place. And we know that, like I mentioned earlier, is beyond the technical skills. You must also have the opportunity and the ability to excel when it comes to the employability skills, if that makes sense, Stella.
Yeah, yeah. What happened was I went through your Instagram page and I was seeing so many
Yes.
testimonies. Like, oh my god, one day this
Yeah.
testimony will have to be me. Oh. One day it has to be me. Because honestly,
Yeah.
you make a payment and you're getting, what you paid for, the value
The
for the money.
value.
Imagine mentorship,
Absolutely.
whenever you want to join, you're free to join
Yep.
until you're tired before
Yep.
which I think is a good one, to be honest. And here's the last one. What advice will you give to individuals who are looking to leverage their tech skills to secure a job, not just in the UK, but in Canada, US?
We've held so many sessions on this. In
Mm,
fact, last weekend, last Saturday, I had a session on specific strategies to landing sponsorship jobs in the
yeah.
UK. Okay. Now you can go on our YouTube, Tenalytics YouTube page. You'd see all these sessions, amazing sessions. But I'll just give
Yeah.
you a few
I'll
ideas.
put the link on the description. I'll put their YouTube link on the description for those of you wanting to check out their YouTube page. The link will be on the.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We also have these sessions every Saturday. So every Saturdays we have free sessions, and these free sessions, some of them are taster sessions, some of them are designed to help you come up with strategies, just like the question you asked on helping you get a sponsor job and so on and so forth. So we do this to educate, the public. You know exactly what you're getting into, the career path you should move into, and so on and so forth for free. So the link to the community would be there. You can
Yeah.
join our community, so you always have the opportunity to join these sessions for free. So let's go back to your question. Now, what would I advise anybody to do? Number one is, I would say, commitment. Okay,
Mm,
and what is commitment? Commitment is simply the elimination of alternatives. All right. Now, a lot of people would hear data analytics today, they're interested. Some would hear, oh, the next big thing is digital marketing, they're
mm,
interested. The following week, they would hear that, oh, it's business analysis, they're interested.
mm.
So I gave you 8 career paths to focus on. Pick one out of the 8 and stay committed to it.
Yeah.
All right. Eliminate all the others and stay committed to that one. Okay, so it's not by dabbling into so many things that'll get you the job, but it's by staying committed, eliminate the alternatives, and
Yeah.
focus on one. Now, once you've focused on that one, the next step for you is to learn the skills, okay, using the approach I mentioned already. So it's me just rehashing what I said.
Yeah.
You learn the skills in a self-paced environment and a live session. So you need to have a blended learning approach where you have the opportunity to join a live session, just like with analytics, work with professionals, and then they help you learn the skills. Once you've learned the skills, the next step is to build a portfolio. And I always ask this question, Stella, imagine you want to buy a couch. There's a blue couch behind me. Imagine you want to buy a couch in your living room and you are considering two different carpenters. One of them has on his certificate that he's gone to carpentry school, he's good in carpentry. And the other person has a showroom. You can walk into the showroom, you can see the type of couch, you can feel it, see the quality. Which of the two carpenters would you select at the end of the day? The one with the CV or the one with the showroom?
I think I'll go for the one with showroom because I want to see. And
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's a no-brainer. Nobody would look at that guy that says, I'm good. Everybody would look at the person that actually has built something. So you must build a portfolio as a professional. Your portfolio is your showroom. All the projects you've completed, all the case studies, you warehouse them, you upload them to that portfolio. So it doesn't matter the program you join at Analytics, be it business analysis, project management, cybersecurity, you must have a portfolio. We show you how to build one, and all the projects you work on, you put them there. The link to that portfolio would be on your CV. It would also be on your LinkedIn profile. So any potential employer, any recruitment consultant, hiring professional can see what you've done, and they know clearly without even meeting you that you have the skills and the capacity to do the job. And that's where you get opportunities. After having the portfolio, the next step is your employability skills. Some people cannot answer questions as simple as, tell me about yourself. Can you introduce yourself? Okay. So, how do you learn the techniques to answer questions like that? Competency based questions are the most important during interviews. And these are questions that assess your skills and your experience. Questions like a business analyst interview. Tell me about a time you've worked on a process optimization project. How did you deal with a difficult stakeholder? That's something that if you haven't done it before, you would struggle to answer that question. So, how do you answer questions like that using the STAR technique? How do you introduce yourself using the SEAT approach, and so on and so forth? How do you have the right CV to even get you into the room? Okay, keyword optimization, your CV going past the ATS system, and so on and so forth. So, these are your employability skills that you need to have. Once you've had that, we've talked about networking, we've talked about mentorship, and more importantly, knowing where to apply and how to apply. If you're applying to sponsor job, you want to get visa sponsorship, you want to get a tier 2 skilled worker visa, it's important you know where to apply and how to apply. And I'll give you one example. Now, we always advise that you apply on platforms that are paid. And there's a reason why. The conventional platforms that are free, that's where everybody goes to.
Mm.
LinkedIn, Glassdoor, read.co.uk, CV Library. Everybody goes there to apply. So you're not going to get anything different from the result other people are getting. You want to work with platforms where they have collated all these visa sponsored jobs in a single environment. Jobs you'd find on the general platforms and jobs that you won't even find on the general platforms.
Yeah.
One example is UK visa jobs. We use that a lot. UK visa jobs, it's absolutely phenomenal. Now, the beauty is we pay for those platforms at Analytics. You don't have to pay for it. We scrape the jobs every single week and we send them to you for you to apply. So that's one of the advantages that you also get, by joining Analytics. So when you apply to jobs that only comes with visa sponsorship, that's where you start to get opportunities. We prepare you for those interviews and you're able to land the job. There are so many stories I would like to tell, but I'm not sure we have enough
Yeah.
time. So I'm just going to
I
I'm just
don't
going
want
to skip it.
over 30 minutes now. So
Yes, yes,
if you have any
absolutely.
question, feel free to leave it on the comment section. We'll be going live end of
Absolutely.
February. Please leave a comment and feel free to send them any message or question you want. And you can also join the community, which I'm also going to leave the link on the description below. And one
Yeah.
more question. I know I've asked you the last one, but then again,
Yes.
for you to transition into tech, do you need like university certificate, secondary? Do you need all of that? Some person will
My
be like, oh, I don't
yeah.
have university, I dropped out, stuff like that. You always see stuff. Sometimes when I make video, I'll be like, oh, I don't have university degrees, stuff like that. Do they really need for those who want to transition into tech? They really need like like degree and all of that.
Fantastic, beautiful question. So when it comes to the conversation of degree, no degree,
Mm.
it's good to have a degree, a university degree, a
Yeah,
college certificate, and so on and so forth, something to show
yeah,
higher education, an
yeah,
ND, HND, and so on. It's
yeah.
good to have. Okay, it's not compulsory because there are so many roles you'd find out there that would not require you to have you know a university degree to land the job. They want you and they assess you based on the skills that you bring to the table. But if you have that, you have the opportunity to apply to a wider array of jobs compared to the other person that doesn't have a university degree. But
Okay.
to also answer that question a bit more, going deeply a little bit more, is my first degree was in industrial chemistry.
Mm.
I had done nothing related to tech.
Yeah.
My very first job was also as a management consultant, but I
Mm.
was able to transition. And the only reason, and we've worked with people, I told you about the farmer who got
Yeah.
a job as a data scientist in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
We've worked with accountants who are business analysts today. We've worked with care workers who are data analysts, business analysts. We've worked with pharmacists who are data scientists, project managers, and so on and so forth, cybersecurity professionals. The only reason why it's possible for these professionals to transition into different other roles in tech is because the tech ecosystem is skilled based. It's a skill based ecosystem, meaning that you can learn the skills, you can work on projects, work on case studies, build your experience, and land a job within the space. So your experience doesn't matter, your
Yeah.
education doesn't matter. You can learn the skills and you can also transition, just like me and so many other people
Yeah.
who have done it in the past.
So
Yeah.
if you're watching this video, you don't necessarily, but it's good. And if you don't,
Yes.
have experience, or you did, like he said, he didn't even study anything related to tech, you can
Yes.
transition into this. Like I said, I'll leave all the information on the description below. Thank you so much. And I'll hope to see you end of this month for question and answer section. Please feel free to leave us more questions. We'll be happy. He will be happy to answer all of that question.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. And anybody can also join the WhatsApp community. We have
Yeah.
sessions every Saturday. You can join those sessions. We have a new cohort starting. So even before the live session, you want to get started, you want to kickstart your journey, you can do that. Join the
Yeah.
community, join one of our free sessions, pick my brain. Other professionals, you have the opportunity to pick their brains as well. Know what to start. Oh, I used to do logistics back in Nigeria. Now I want to move into business analysis or data science. I'm confused. Which of the two should I do? Those are the type of questions we answer, and we
Yeah.
show you exactly, the steps, the exact steps for you to take to transition into those areas.
Wow. Wow,
Yeah.
that's great. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So guys, we've come to the end of today's video. Like, we are trying to make this video not to be too long. I
Yeah.
hope to see you guys end of the month, and I hope you join the community. I'll see you guys end of. Thank you so much, Mrs. Suleiman. Hope to see you end of the month.
It's a pleasure
Bye
anytime.
guys.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Bye guys.
Cheers.